In the dimly lit silence of the bedroom, a chilling reality must be faced every single night. The bed is no longer a place of rest, but an inescapable battlefield where victory is never an option. The moment the eyes begin to close and the body starts to relax, an unseen trap springs into action, paralyzing every cell before danger can even be comprehended. The terror always begins with the exact same sequence, as if a sinister script is forced to play out every time darkness falls. The anomaly usually starts shortly after the room lights are switched off. The encroaching drowsiness is abruptly shattered by a drastic plunge in temperature. The air, typically warm, instantly turns bone-chillingly cold. A peculiar stench creeps into the nostrils, a sickening mixture of rain-drenched earth, rotting jasmine, and the metallic sharpness of rust. At that exact moment, consciousness becomes trapped right on the boundary between sleep and wakefulness. The body is not yet fully asleep, yet the physical frame instantly hardens and locks up. The initial instinct is to shift positions, but both arms feel as heavy as lead. The fingers are stiff, entirely unyielding to command. Then comes the sound, a heavy, warm breath exhaled right beside the ear. It is a labored breath, accompanied by the faint, unsettling sound of teeth grinding. Forcing the eyes open with whatever strength remains, a peripheral glance catches a tall, towering figure, darker than the surrounding night, standing motionless in the corner of the room. The entity has no clear feature, appearing merely as a sinister silhouette with faint, glowing red eyes that radiate intense malice. Without a sound, it steps or rather glides closer toward the bed. Seconds later, an overwhelming pressure slams onto the chest. The terrifying entity pins the body down. The weight feels as though a massive slab of granite has been dropped directly onto the torso. The lungs are locked tight. The air supply is instantly cut off. The mouth opens wide in a desperate attempt to gasp for oxygen, but only icy air enters, choking the throat. Trapped and helpless, sheer panic consumes the mind. There is a desperate urge to scream for help or simply give voice to the terror. Yet the vocal cords seem completely paralyzed. The frantic screams, echoing inside the head, come out as nothing more than a faint, powerless whisper, barely audible even to oneself. The creature draws its form closer. A foul, hot stench exhales against the face. A high-pitched, faint laugh sounding like the whispers of 1,000 voices at once begins to echo inside the skull. You can never run. We will always be right here. Prayers are desperately summoned from memory. Yet under such immense mental assault, thoughts shatter easily. Words usually memorized effortlessly suddenly scramble and fade. Every attempt to focus the mind on a prayer causes the crushing weight on the chest to intensify, as if the entity grows enraged and refuses to leave. With the absolute final reserve of willpower, all focus is gathered. The eyes are shut tight, ignoring the eerie whispers filling the room, repeatedly reciting protective verses deep within the mind. Every ounce of physical energy is funneled into a single focal point, the tip of the big toe. Bit by bit, through an agonizing struggle that feels like it takes hours, the big toe finally manages a subtle twitch. Instantly, a shockwave of cold rushes out and releases the body. The crushing weight on the chest vanishes in a split second. Air rushes violently back into the lungs, triggering a sudden reflex to sit bolt upright, gasping for breath and drenched in a cold sweat. The heart pounds wildly against the ribs, as if having just finished a marathon. A glance toward the corner of the room reveals nothing but empty shadows cast by the furniture. The temperature slowly returns to normal, and the foul odor evaporates into thin air. Sweat is wiped from the forehead, and the chest is gently rubbed where the ache and pressure still linger. The wall clock indicates a time far from dawn, still deep in the dead of night. The lights are turned on, a glass of water is drank, and an effort is made to calm the racing mind. Yet the greatest terror of this experience is not what has just transpired, but what awaits when the next night falls. Because this is not a one-time ordeal. This is a relentless cycle that repeats night after night. Whenever exhaustion sets in and the eyes begin to close in the nights to come, a bitter truth must be faced. The entire agony and paranormal terror will inevitably repeat all over again.